Good afternoon. Welcome to English Without Borders Chai Talk series. And today we are very happy because we have an outstanding person in our studio. Just to remind you, English Without Borders is excited to continue Wednesday series of English Without Borders Chai Talk with outstanding people who make a great contribution in the development of culture and education through English. And today we are very happy to host Mr. Parvonakhon Jamshedov. Welcome, dear Stot. Let me just give an overview of his bio. Parvonakhon Jamshedov, Doctor of Philological Sciences, Professor, Academician at the Education and Social Studies of Russian Federation. He is author of 45 monographs, books, dictionaries, 25 textbooks for schools and universities, 200 scientific articles, 20 articles and books published abroad. And he participated and delivered speeches at 45 symposiums and conferences abroad. So his career started in 1968 when he started his professional career at the State Pedagogical University named after Shevchenko, which is currently named after Sadruddin Ayni. He started his career as a teacher, and then he got promoted to Deputy Dean, Dean of the Faculty of Foreign Languages, and Head of the Department of Foreign Languages. During 1991-95, he was professor at the School of Oriental and African Studies at the University of London. And later on, he was assigned Deputy Director of the Institute of Humanities of the Khorog branch of Academy of Sciences of the Republic of Tajikistan. And he was the head of the Department of English at Khorog State University. Later on, during 96-213, he was head of the Department of Typological Linguistics and English in Russian Tajik Slavonic University in Tajikistan. Since 2013 up to now, he has been professor of the Department of Foreign Languages at the Academy of Science of the Republic of Tajikistan. And during his professional career, he received several awards and titles such as Honored Worker of the Republic of Tajikistan, medal dedicated to the 20th anniversary of the Great Patriotic War, winner of the Hiroyama Silk Road Award in London, Excellence of Tajik Education of the Republic of Tajikistan. And he was the winner of the Manocher Farhangi Award in New York in 2018. So welcome, dear Ustad. We are very happy to see you today. And I'm sure that lots of members of English Without Borders who are watching our EWB English Without Borders Chai Talk, they are ready to listen to our conversation today, and also they have prepared their questions to you as well. So just briefly tell us. So we have learned about like your biography. So we know, so you have a huge background and also like accomplishments in teaching. Just briefly tell us about yourself.
Okay, you have said everything about myself, and concerning me, I'm working as a teacher, first of all, and then a scholar, writing books and preparing books for the school in Tajikistan. And today, I'm working also doing some other things, researching the history of our language, and also history of the English language, and publishing articles, books also, and just the regular life of a scholar or teacher everywhere in the world. You know, the same thing. I was born in Pamir, Badakhshan, the village of Tang, and entered the first class, finished it by in 4 years, and then I moved to another school, which is 20 kilometers far from our village, because there was no schools and place for the children after their 4th year study at the village. And after graduating, I tried to enter the university. I worked for 1 year in order to have some background, and then entered the university, pedagogical university, the foreign languages faculty, and choose the English language. And that at that time it was not only English but also national language, Tajik language also. And I have a diploma with English and Tajik language certificate also. And after graduating from the university, I was asked to stay at the university because I studied in excellent marks, and that's why they accepted me as a teacher, and I started working there. And after 3 years, in 1970, I went for 1 year to St. Petersburg, which was Leningrad before. And I finished my thesis there and defended my thesis at the university, at the Institute of Linguistics in St. Petersburg, and then came back and worked as a deputy dean and then dean of the faculty for 10 years. And during these 10 years, I prepared also my doctorate and went back to Moscow and defended my thesis, doctorate thesis at the Institute of Linguistics in Moscow. And after that, I came back again to my native country or native town in Dushanbe and was working as a head of the English and typology department at the Pedagogical University. And in 1996, the new university, which is the Russian Tajik Philharmonic University, opened, and I was asked to be the head of the English department. And we justly newly opened new department and was working there. And all my career is going through this university and Tajikistan. I was, for some period of time, I was in America at the Wisconsin University. I was teaching Tajik language for learners, those who are eager to learn Tajik language. And just for 4 years, I was in London working for I was visiting scholar for some period of time. I was also working as a translator at the BBC World Service, the Persian section. And this is just what am I, or I am.
Yeah, great. So I mean, just, sometimes when we go to some visits or meetings with different regions of our country, and sometimes teachers start asking questions, and sometimes we refer to you, and it seems like everybody in Tajikistan knows you. That's mainly to your book.
Yes, I think that those who studied English, of course, at the Pedagogical University, and all the teachers are coming from this university. Today it is coming from the other universities too, from, for example, Farog University, Kuliaba University, and Bokhtar University. But at that time, it was the only university which was training, teacher training groups, and that's why everybody knows. And because also I am the head of the Teachers Association of English Teachers Association of Tajikistan, and we are providing seminars, workshops for the English teachers in the area in Kuliab, in Sogd, before it was Lennabad Oblast, and also in Rasht region, Gharm region. And that's why, and also I'm teaching sometimes for the refreshing courses for the English teachers in Dushanbe. They are coming to Dushanbe for 1 month, and they ask us or me some questions. They want to know about the books which we are publishing for them, and also we are providing seminars for them, and this is our job, and that's why everybody knows English teachers in the country. Of course.
Yeah, definitely. So, just also like our network, English Without Borders, is also just serving, to do capacity building of teachers and also to build the community. And, I would like just to know how the knowledge of English helped you in your career.
Of course, as a scholar, it is very important to know not only English, but also other languages. But English is the world language today, and all the scientific articles in any way they are publishing either in English or the resume is always in English. And for being just to be in a current division, you have to know English, and you have to use, and you know that any scholar's article should always have references from the other works, which is just doing all over the world, for example, in Japan or Brazil or America, and you should know language in order to use them, and to know and to be aware of the new current of method of teaching, and not only in that way, but also in making or writing any historical books. You should know English. It is very nice, and it helps me very much.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you completely. Like because even in Tajik there is a saying, "Zabon doni jahon."
Yes, of course.
And it means like, and currently like when English is spoken in many countries, it opens new doors, not only like, to teachers, but also to students, but also, to representative of different sectors. Okay. So, and we know that you have started your career as a teacher, right?
Yes.
But in order like, to have that kind of passion to teaching, I bet that probably you have some inspiration, some teacher who inspired you. And so can you just tell us at what age did you realize that you wanted to become a teacher, and how it came to you?
You know that the teacher's career, it comes from my family, because my two brothers and my sister also were teachers, and even my elder brother was teaching me history at school, in school. And when I was a student at the Pedagogical University, on the fourth year, I was asked to teach English at the at school in Luchov. There was a very large school. Now it is International School of Presidential International School. But instead of that, there was a boarding school, and I was asked to teach for 1.5 year for the school children, for the 7th and 8th classes. And you know that today I can't imagine not to be a teacher. You know, when you enter this the classroom, when you see the faces who are eager to know something, and who are looking at you and waiting what you are saying, what you are wearing, what is your jest, how you speak, and that's very important. And in this case, you have to be always ready. You have to be always in a good mood, and not paying attention to any things which are happening around you. And that's why, for example, if I don't have classes in 1 month or 2 months, I think that I have lost something, because I'm eager to see my students. I'm eager to know what they are thinking of, and what they ask me, and what is going on in the school, in the system of education. That's it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like, I mean, it's not just only when you impart your knowledge, to your student, but it's kind of a two-way learning, right?
Yes, of course.
Two-way
They are
learning.
learning from me, and I'm learning from them.
Yeah.
That's a very important thing,
Yeah.
because person does not have the ability to know everything.
Yeah,
Even
sure.
if you are a good teacher, if you are a good scholar, and sometimes this pupil knows more, and sometimes you learn from them something new, which you don't know, and it is important thing to learn from them also.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I read somewhere, I don't remember exactly where, but the saying was like that. So once you realize that you already know everything, you stop growing.
You stop growing.
You stop growing.
That's true.
And in your case, like, what surprising things you always learn when you interact with your students? What kind of things like you discover for yourself, and it's kind of like makes you move forward, do self-development, do self-learning,
Yes,
do
of course.
self-education.
You know that teacher never stops learning. If you stop learning, then you are becoming not a teacher, and it is very dangerous for a teacher who is not working on himself, learning, and finding some new things. Because, for example, I'm teaching the history of the English language for the students, and every time I'm preparing myself 2 hours at least at home, and finding new things, new maybe understanding. And every time I'm changing my lecture and trying to tell them new things with new understanding, with new sources, finding from other books. And this is very important. And this is science. The real science is learning all the time. And until you know that there is a saying also, Muhammad,
Prophet.
Our prophet also said that you have to learn until your death. Yes, exactly. It is very important.
Yeah, thank you very much. Just we have on the table so many books, like, all of them are written by you. So many of them are textbooks, and besides textbooks, you also wrote like prepared dictionary, and also we have some new books which are telling about history, and also just some historical books. So just so amazing, just to learn and also to know about them. And I was just wondering, when did you first write your first textbook? Why you decided that you are going to write a textbook? Was there a need, or was there kind of some kind of passion to writing? What was that?
When I was on 1970s, I was teaching at the university, at Pedagogical Institute, it was called, and there were very prominent teachers working with us and teaching us from St. Petersburg, from Leningrad, which were evacuated during the Second World War to Tajikistan, and they stayed here and lived here, and they brought a great knowledge to us. And one of my teachers who taught us method of teaching, Tatke Pavlina Nikitchina, her name was, she's not alive now. And she was teaching so good and so understandable that many of us tried to follow her and tried to write something and try to see what is going on with the teaching of English language and things like that. And after, when I was working in one chair with her, she said that let's write down, let's write new books, because the previous books were from Russia, and they were not taking into consideration the national understanding, the national things that we need. For example, if you are teaching hockey in Tajikistan, it is different than you are, for example, you teach wrestling, which is the national kind of sport. And they did not see the hockey and the TV, just looking at the TV, and they don't understand it. They forget. In 2 days, they forget everything. But when you are talking about the things that you are doing here, they see it with their own eyes, and they understand it, and they keep it in their mind. And those words are coming to themselves every time when they are speaking. This is very important. The national identity, the national things that differ from the other things. And that's why we thought that it would be better to have books which are taking into account the national things, national way of life, and the things around us.
You mean it should be more contextualized?
Of course. Otherwise, it would be very difficult. And then we started to write, me and Satke, the first books, and on 1974 was published the new book, and then we continued, and I'm writing until now with the new groups, new authors, my students and my followers, and now we are continuing writing books until now.
That's very interesting. Like, it seems like we are going back to those ages,
Yes,
and just recalling everything together. So it's amazing. Thank you very much. And as I assume, like, that passion that was kind of embedded in you by your teacher, so it still carries on with you.
Yes.
And it still motivates you.
It motivates me, and also I'm trying to give it further for our future teachers. That they should also, for example, the books which just published in 2021, all 6 persons with me, all are my students. And I'm the head of the supervisor of the books, of their thesis, and also they are my previous students. And now we are together. I am helping them to write how to write the books, to make new one, and in this way we are from one generation and changing to other generations and continuing in order not to lose what we have already.
Definitely. Because it's kind of not only like giving like some legacy to other generation, but it's also kind of motivating them to continue.
That's right.
If you have knowledge, and if you don't like impart your knowledge, if you don't enhance your knowledge and share it with others, there is no use of that knowledge, right? Thank you very much. Okay, so I was like, by looking at these books, I can see like you have done huge work, like, as a person, as a professional, as an academician, like, as a human being as well. So I was just wondering, so how often do you collaborate with any foreign experts, like, in creating your textbooks or pedagogical materials?
And if yes, what are your current projects? Can you tell more about that?
You know that we are always
Mhm.
trying to collaborate with foreign specialists
Mhm.
who are working on English textbooks.
Mhm.
I was in one of the program
Mhm.
for English Soviet English teachers,
Mhm.
and for 3 months I was in Los Angeles
Mhm.
at the University UCLA,
Mhm.
and we had there 2 months training with the English teachers who are writing books and who are also teaching themselves with new methods of teaching. You know that method of teaching is not stuck in one place.
Yeah.
It is always moving.
Moving, yeah.
It is always changing. And year by year, it is becoming new and becoming more complicated and becoming more maybe understandable for the teachers who are teaching. And I had very good friends from there, from America, and I sent them my books, and they looked through it, made some
Editing,
editing, and in this way we are continuing. Today we are now working on the new books with a group. I think that through the United States of America's embassy, and uh, with the collaboration with Aga Khan Foundation. And the head of the group is Dr. Martin, who is working and with the Aga Khan Foundation. And we are now publishing new system, new method of teaching and books. Now we have already finished with 10 and 11th classes, and now we are continuing down. Again, another project today is we are working on the project of preparing the colloquium, the standards, and the program for writing new books after maybe 2-3 years for the first, for the second, third, and fourth grade. And this project is for 1 year, and we are working very actively. Every Tuesday, every Wednesday, we are coming to my office. The people from Ministry of Education, the other from the project, 2 other teachers from my groups, and we are working on it and preparing now new standards. And I think that the new standards will be ready by August, and then we will also publish new program, and after that we start writing new books again.
Yeah, it's true to say that, language is not static, it's dynamic, yeah?
Yes,
It's dynamic and just, like to compare two completely two different books, one published like a decade ago and
Yes,
one
that's
recently,
right.
you can see so many huge new terminology. It's
Yeah.
due to progress of technology,
Of
due to
course.
progress of mass media, and also language is also rushing, yeah? So,
Also,
yeah.
the diction is changing.
Yeah,
Books
exactly.
which are publishing in fiction now,
Yeah.
they are changing, and we have to know what is changing,
Yeah.
what they are changing, and also mass media,
Yeah.
newspapers, magazines, journals, and things like that.
Yeah, yeah. If we also just look at the classroom setting, 30 years ago, like there
Oh,
was
yes.
enough one blackboard, a chalk, a teacher, and that's chairs and students.
Today,
and nowadays,
visual aids and
Yeah.
things like that are using very much, very
digital
actively.
tools,
Yes.
even during the pandemic, the whole education system in the whole world, it's moved to online system.
Of course, yeah.
And right now, like, you know, in the light of this pandemic is going on, we still see that, you know, teachers see and they kind of they need this kind of digital tools, and it's kind of a must to everybody right now.
Right.
To learn about all these digital tools.
Today, the digital tools are becoming mother of English, of teaching.
Yeah.
You know, without them, nothing can be done.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so yeah, very good. Just talking to you, it just brings us so many new topics into our conversation. We know that besides textbooks, you also write like some historical books, right? So and one of them is Avesta.
Yeah.
So you know, for many those who are interested in history, and who are also learning, like Avesta is available in different languages, and you also wrote it, you know, for Tajik students as well. So why you are teaching Avesta? What's special about this?
You know that in languages, if we just say that once upon a time there was one language. It is Indo-European language, which was spoken by all universe everywhere in the world, and mostly Scandinavia, England, Russia, Europe, and also Iran, Afghanistan, and Tajikistan. Today's Tajikistan. Of course, before there was no special borders in the world, and people lived without borders, you know, and the people just living in one places, they created new languages for themselves. The other group is creating another, but all of them are under the, from the language which was called Indo-European language. And after that, it comes down, and we divide them into many family of languages, and it comes to Indo-Iranian languages. And these Indo-Iranian languages, from them, one of them is, the oldest one is Avesta. Avesta was our predecessor, for those who lived, and after them, and the Avesta period is called Aryan, or Yoi. They, not only in language, but also in face, in bodies, appearance, and those people who were called Aryan. And this is the language of the Achaemenisches kingdom or civilization. At that period, it was one of the very developed civilization. And then it comes down after that. Then we come to Pahlavi, then to history, the old Persian language, and after old Persian language they come down, and languages are divided into different groups and those languages which are now using in Central Asia, it is Tajik, it is the dead languages, Yagnobi, and also Pamiri languages, in Badakhshan area, which are spoken not only in our in Tajikistan, but also in Afghanistan, in Pakistan, in China, and that's why it is a very vast territory using these languages, which are called the Indo-European languages and Indo-Iranian languages. And Avesta is very important because this is the mother of these languages, which are spoken in Central Asia, Iran, and Afghanistan as Dari language, as Pashto language, and also a language which is spoken by Ossetian in Ossetia. They are also as brother-in-law with Tajik language, and they have also taken from a lot of words taken from Avesta, and if you want to find the meaning of any word, you have to come to Avesta, find it there, and then explain it here. And that's why I'm interested in these languages, and just as a linguist, not English teacher, but as a linguist, I'm interested in them. And just from the university period, I tried to work, to read, to find out, to write, and even when I was in London, when I was in London, there was a very prominent scholar, Bailey, who is one of the prominent scholars of the old languages, as Khotana Sachs language and others. I was attending his seminars in order to learn from him also these things. That's it.
So just to conclude about your book, can we say that your book is adding some value about Western language, not only in kind of delivering the history of language, but also like delivering culture behind it, right?
Yes, of course, of course. So, all the things, that we 10 years ago, we celebrated Avesta and the book itself, and also the culture of Avesta in this area. And it was just from 70 countries, scholars was the representatives came here and made also they did some they published some articles, and they also delivered lectures here. And you know that Imam al-Rahman, the president of our Tajikistan, also made a speech in opening the ceremony of the international conference. And it was very, very nice, and very many people now understand what is it, and where we're coming from. And this is our idea in order to move forward.
Yeah, exactly. Like, knowing your past opens,
of course,
opens doors to the future. Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much. So many people are watching right now us on Facebook. Yes. And we have like, some other people who would like to know more about like you. And I would like to say hello to teachers from Pedagogical University of Tajikistan who are watching us right now. And also the students are watching us. So we are very happy to know. So hello to everybody from English Without Borders Network. And they have some questions. One of the teachers is asking, as a teacher, you'll encounter problematic students from different kind of coming from different regions, probably. And the question is about how do you handle these students?
To say, really, it is very, very difficult question. The question is that people are coming from different places, from different regions, with different backgrounds. And the teacher should be ready, be ready to teach such students, because you have to divide the group into two groups, the more understandable students in one part. The second is another, but it's better to have the same understanding, the same with the same knowledge in one class.
Yeah.
But it is important. It is impossible because today we are not examining them. They are examined by the by computer
Oh, institution, yeah.
and by the special place for entering examination.
Yeah, yeah.
And we don't even see them. Who are they?
Yeah, yeah.
And they pass their exams and they are enrolling at the university. And we are teachers, we are coming in trying to make from them something.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's very difficult question, and it is the best way is to have the same level of knowledge in one class, and the second maybe one is developed, the second is more a lower class, and then the teacher will make his best to make from them something, to teach them in other ways.
Yeah.
And from one method of teaching will not enough be for different people.
Exactly.
That's the question.
Yeah. So in many cases, like, teachers usually say, like, individual approach to everybody.
Yes,
right?
of course.
Individual
But
approach.
if you have in the class 30 students,
Yeah. Sometimes it's difficult.
the individual work will not be possible.
Yeah.
Because even you can't, in 1 or 2 hours, you can't ask each of them to understand how he's speaking, what he's speaking, did he understand the thing? It's very difficult. But if classes, of course, the foreign languages classes should be not more than 6. 6 person in one class. It is perfectly. And then you will have a very good result. But if it is more than 15, more than 20, it is very difficult. But anyhow, our teachers are trying their best to do something with it.
Exactly. So yeah, completely agree with you, because like, teaching is not an easy process itself. So also, like, there was a saying, like, sometimes the worst student makes the progressive one, right?
Yes.
Because like the teacher's role in this case, I think this is unlocking the potential of the students, right? Okay, so and in your case, like I can see, that you are working still with your students who are just creating books, and I bet you just unlocked so many potentials of that.
Any person practically has a lot of value and potential. You have to work on your potential. You have to work and to develop them. If you don't work on your potential, then it will come down and stuck in one place. And that's why the teacher should work himself in order to enter the classroom. Otherwise, nothing will become coming out from your teaching.
Yeah, agree, 100% agree. So we have another question. She's asking, dear Stod, what kind of difficulties have you met during the teaching process, and how did you find the ways to solve them?
It depends on the group, and it depends on when. When we were teaching at the Soviet period, the groups were not more than 12. And they did not allow us to put in the classroom 20, 25. And it was easier to teach for such kind of pupil. Of course, there are a lot of other new ways. Now it is becoming easy when you have the classroom with electronic boards. When you have telephone, you have computers, you have many other visual aids. It is easier. And in this case, of course, the teaching is becoming easy. But anyhow, it's for the teacher who is not ready himself yet You know, all the young teachers, they have no any practice. The practice which they have during the study, it is not enough. You know, life is bringing different things for you and different obstacle for you. You have to move through this obstacle. Either make them easier to understand them, either you have to work on yourself and try to find a way out. Otherwise, it would be very difficult for the teacher. It's exactly a very difficult thing. It is not, for example, history. You have to teach history. They need also visual aids, but not so much as we should have. Because language is as a mathematics. And the difficulty.
Daily practicing.
Yes, daily practicing and also good move. Good move in learning things.
And also retention,
yes,
memory,
memory and things like that. If you don't train your memory, then you will stuck. Nothing will come out of it.
Exactly. Okay, so thank you very much for your questions, dear our followers. So we also have like some questions from Pedagogical University followers. So hello to everybody once again. As a member of Tajik society, you always think about the future of nation and prosperity of our country. This is a kind of tribute for you, Ustad. So they are saying you have done a lot for Tajik professionals and teachers. And they're wondering, what's your next contribution for future professional teachers?
First of all, it depends on God.
Exactly, yes.
Yes.
Inshallah.
And to the health of the person, you know. But I'm trying, I'm teaching still at the university, at Russian Tajik Slavonic University. I'm teaching at the Pedagogical University also. Today and now, I'm the head of the governmental commission at the Foreign Languages Faculty, and this is also some kind of help. I'm trying to, and I'm also trying to write down better books for students and for pupils of Tajik schools, of course. And if I can do more, I would be very glad also to help my colleagues and teachers and other scholars also. I would like to do my best.
Thank you very much. Okay, so another question. We have from Bahti Begim Mamad Rayonova. From Harov, definitely, yes. Dear Ustad, what inspired you to work on linguistic science?
You know, if you are studying language, if you learn language, then it is, of course, you have to find some nuances in the language, and then you think how you will solve them and why they are coming, what should we do or what should be done to find out the way out. And that's why I tried to find out the things in linguistic. Most of all, I'm interested in the history of the English language. And I was the best student when I was studying just in the in history of English language, because it is, you have to speak old English language. You have to know the Middle English language.
Shakespeare
language. You know, yes. If you know Chaucer's language, if you know, then comes down, you have to know Shakespeare's. After Shakespeare, you have to know today's David Crystal's language. And this is very interesting thing, how it changed. Why, for example, why do we have the past tense with endings ed, and why we don't have in come.
Yeah.
For example, come, do, have.
Yeah.
Uh,
Irregular verbs.
yes.
Yeah.
Why we don't do it? For example, do it.
Yeah.
It would be
Easier.
easier.
Yeah.
But we should know
Yeah.
that the positive verbs and the changing of the vowels in the in changing the verb, you should explain it.
Yeah.
There is no things that you can't explain in the language, because everything has the reason. Everything has the
Some history. Yeah.
some history, why it is changed and
Yeah.
why it is becoming.
Yeah.
If we are saying online today,
Yeah.
this is a new word.
Yeah.
It comes when the computer appeared and internet appeared. And now we say that online, everybody knows.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody knows that what is online.
Yeah.
But before we did not know it.
Yeah.
And this is the language. Language is a maybe
Dynamic change.
alive,
Yeah.
alive body,
Yeah.
which is also like a person developing, coming and ending.
Yeah.
Then changing, another language is coming and explaining and further and further.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you very much. Another question from Mehri Niyazshoeva. She wants to ask about the 11th class book, which she uses at school. How to make easy the text for pupils?
We had already made it, because the old English English text book for 11th grade, it was really difficult, because we have the problem of writing books. The thing is that when we are starting from the 5th or from the 3rd year study, we put down all the words. For example, for the 3rd classes, 10 new words. For the 4th classes, 20, and so on, etc., etc. And we are coming to 11th year. We have already about 1,800 words, all the words together.
Yeah.
The person can speak very good English when he has 800 words in his mind.
Yeah.
Active.
Yeah, it's kind of a minimum. Yeah.
Minimum, yes.
Yes.
And we thought that our schoolboys from the 3rd classes up to 11th, they are very active, they are very smart, and they learned everything what we had before. And now they are coming to 11th. This is the last year.
Yeah.
And they should speak very good language and with very difficult texts.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why it, but unfortunately, it is not so.
Yeah. Yeah.
That some period of time they have no English teacher,
Yeah.
some period of time they have no the light, electricity.
So different factors.
Different factors. And when they come to 11th class, they don't understand some texts. Not all the texts, but some texts. That's why it became very difficult. Today we changed it, and we published already new 11th classes book.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is
And it's a new edition.
Yeah, new edition, and we made it easy. We made it easy, taking into consideration
all the feedback.
Feedback. And it is now very easy. You can have it now, and you can work it with easier.
And it reminds me, about the point that, the teacher's role is just facilitation, right? And it's not like, what is said in the book, but kind of, having an atmosphere for the class and, being sensitive to what their needs are. And then based on that, like, supplement the textbook with some additional materials, right?
We have different level of English language in school.
Exactly.
School number, for example, 1. School number 1 is better than school number 54
Yeah.
or 67
Mhm.
or any other school.
Yeah, it happens.
We have Aga Khan schools.
Yeah.
We have presidential schools.
Private schools.
We have private academic English,
Yeah.
and it is different. We have to prepare books for all of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Accommodate all.
Accommodate all of
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
And in this case, we have to know first the standard of learning English.
Mhm.
Except the standard, we have to know the program,
Mhm.
which is not only for one school,
Yeah.
but all schools of Tajikistan.
Yeah.
And then for English teachers, for teachers also, and also books for universities.
Yeah,
Also.
agree. I completely agree with you. Like, in this case, we can say like, that, the textbooks are there and, the teachers should be more flexible. Yeah?
Yes,
More
of course,
flexible
of course.
in finding the needs and identifying those needs and also to responding to
That's
those
right.
needs. Yeah. And of course, like, nowadays we have so many available resources. I mean, just, we also have like American spaces everywhere, like in big cities.
Yes,
like
yes.
teachers can go there, and we have
We
like,
have very motivated now.
exactly,
Very,
yes, yeah.
but you see, the thing is that if the teacher and if the student don't read fiction books,
Yeah, yeah,
they never speak good English.
yeah.
A person can speak good language, it doesn't matter
Yeah.
whether it
Any
is
language,
English
yes, any
or
language.
Tajik.
Yeah, yeah.
When you, that's why our president is very clever
Yeah,
person.
yeah.
He made the people and the schools and the universities to read fiction books.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's very important.
Yeah.
If you don't read books, never, with one textbook,
You cannot go.
you cannot speak English or Tajik language or Russian. It doesn't matter. You have to read books and books and books, and then you will have your knowledge.
Yeah. I completely agree with you. Yeah, because
Yeah.
like, if we just compare the countries in the world, like, the countries which are considered to be readable nations.
Yes.
Yeah, they have just, a high progress.
For example, Japan.
Yeah, and high progress in technology, in science,
That's
in
right.
different sectors. So, and also like, looking back into our history, we can also say like,
Of course.
we are coming
Yeah.
from Samanid dynasty,
Yeah.
and, they valued knowledge, books, literature, everything. And learning languages, it's also kind of, opening doors.
Reading, yes.
Yeah, it's all based on readings, definitely. Yeah, thank you very much. So we had so many good positive impressions on Facebook. Yeah, just maybe a couple of last questions. Like,
Please.
you are a teacher, yeah? What would you recommend to young teachers of
More
English language?
Yes.
Yeah.
More reading books, the classic, and also today's new books, which are coming now, million and million books from England, from even from India, fiction books from America, and even I always bring an example, say that, did you read Isaac Asimov?
Yeah.
Isaac Asimov is our,
Contemporary.
yes, he came from Uzbekistan, which was before, Central Asia.
Yeah, I like reading it.
Why you don't read it? Just for interest.
Yeah.
Why you don't read? Why you don't read Chingiz Aytmatov,
Yeah.
which is famous in the world? I met with him in
When he was
Luxembourg.
alive, yeah.
Yeah, we were friends, good friends. And when we were in Luxembourg with with the poet Askar Akin, being his guest, he said that the only thing he said that Tajik people was always
Educated. Yeah.
educated reading people, those who read books. This is very important.
Yeah.
And if we are losing it. And thanks to our president, that he's making the people to read books,
Motivating
them, and even paying them money them to read books.
Yeah.
And that's very important.
Yeah. So, you know.
And then, sorry,
Yeah.
the teacher, first of all, should love his profession.
Yeah, exactly.
If he comes just to make money, nothing comes from this teacher. If you love your specialty as a teacher, then everything will be okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I completely share your opinion about teaching, that, teachers should be passionate, and that,
Yes.
he can deliver something. He can just, make the students progress,
That's right.
progressive, and also just, see their progress. So thank you very much. Yeah, like,
Thank you.
we can continue for hours. I mean, just, because it's so interesting, like,
Thank you.
to talk with you about everything, starting from textbooks, and also just talking about history, about teaching methodologies, about current situation in teaching. We all know about that, and definitely we are looking for more opportunities to invite you again, and on different topics to convey some conversation. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was our pleasure to host you today. And using this moment, I would like to thank our audience, English Without Borders members, and also followers who are watching us on Facebook, and who are just following all our activities on social media. Thanks for your attending, and please stay tuned on us. English Without Borders regularly posts posters and also announcement about its activities. And today we had a English Without Borders series Chai Talk with outstanding people who make contribution to education and also culture through English. And today we had a very nice talk and interesting conversation with Dr. Parvonakhon Jamshedov. So just to remind you, English Without Borders is a network, it's a project which is open to all the English teachers and students in Tajikistan, and we keep our membership open to all those who want to become a member of our network. And this project is sponsored by the US Embassy in Tajikistan. Thanks for joining. Thanks for your active participation.
Thank you.
Tons of thanks to you, dear Ustad.
Thank you.
Yeah, hope to see you in a month when we'll be having another Chai Talk. And please stay tuned on our social media pages. And please follow us on Facebook and Instagram as well. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.